professional or executive woman with PCOS and you're working out, you're eating all the right things, you're doing everything right, but the weight won't stay off, and you want to lose 40 to 100 pounds this year, I'm going to walk you through one of the most important things you need to be including into your weight loss journey. It's going to help you reduce risk of diabetes. It's going to help you fit back into your clothes. It's going to help you improve insulin sensitivity. And it's going to help you manage your hormonal imbalance. This has helped thousands of women go from feeling frustrated, lost, and alone in their journey with PCOS to accelerating the results in 1 year or less. You're driven, you're disciplined, you make things happen in your career. Others rely on you because they understand how reliable and driven you are, but for some reason, you feel like a stranger in your own body. That's exactly how my clients Lauren and Latifah felt before they started their weight loss journey in our program. Latifah had high blood pressure, diabetes, and was working to manage her PCOS. She had a goal of starting a family with her husband, and PCOS, being a hormonal imbalance, was truly making it challenging. With her elevated weight at 370 pounds, at her heaviest weight, her doctor informed her she would not be able to have a healthy pregnancy unless she lost weight. Well, using one of the key principles I'm going to walk through today, she was able to drop 100 pounds in 8 months. Not with more medication, not with more starvation, but with clear principles and systems to help manage her PCOS. We use the same exact framework to duplicate Latifah's results with Lauren in our private coaching program. Lauren, who's in her 40s, who's a mother, extremely capable, extremely driven, extremely disciplined, but felt lost because she was struggling with diabetes and high cholesterol. She knew she deserved better, she wanted better, so she did better. All she needed was clarity, and that's all you need. I know you're willing to do the work. I know you're willing to show up, but for some reason, all of your hard work hasn't given you the results that you want. Now, Lauren felt the same way. Once she got into our system, she lost 100 pounds in 9 months, nearly duplicating Latifah's results. She was able to get off medication for diabetes and high cholesterol and become extremely active with her son who plays basketball. Their story can become your story. PCOS isn't something you can willpower yourself through. It's not something that putting more effort into the wrong system is going to solve. It's something that when you get clarity, your results accelerate, but when you're lost, you stay stagnant. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most important things that changed these two women's lives, which is resistance training. Why it's so important, why it accelerates not only weight loss, but fat loss, and why it's a shield to helping you keep this weight off for good. Stick around for this entire video, and I'm going to break down how you can accelerate your results and keep this weight off for good. Now, when it comes to weight loss, we are taught move more, eat less. But PCOS isn't just a calorie issue. It's a body regulation issue because we're dealing with hormones. With women with PCOS, you're dealing with elevated testosterone, like androgens, which impacts your reproductive tract, can create cysts, can make you experience longer menstrual cycles, irregular periods, missing your period, cause facial hair, dark spots in your skin, and most notably, excessive fat in your midsection region, which not only makes you uncomfortable, but also opens you up to diabetes, high blood pressure, and at times high cholesterol. Because most women with PCOS have insulin resistance, and insulin is the fat storage hormone. When it is elevated, your body wants to hold on to more and more fat, specifically again in your midsection. If you have PCOS, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Most of the women that come to work with us because they are shaped or look like Lauren and Latifah. You're carrying so much fat in your midsection when traditionally most women would be carrying it in their hips and their thighs, especially if you are in your 30s or lower 40s still. But for you, it's all in your stomach, which is not only ruining your outfits, but ruining your health markers. On top of that, your stress is elevated, you're having higher cortisol. And with that, guess what? Your body is wanting to store more fat in your midsection. All of this is a recipe for terrible health markers, elevated weight, and an uncomfortable life. But I know you want your health to match your career. I'm going to break down exactly why weight training isn't just great for building muscle, but for regulating your hormonal imbalance. So, when you build more lean muscle mass, what you're actually doing is adding more insulin sensitive tissue to your body. That's why it's not just important to get active, go to Pilates, go to the gym and walk on the treadmill. It's extremely important that you're focused on getting strong, not skinny. Specifically, when I was training Latifah, and even as Lauren went through her program, which duplicated Latifah's process of dropping 100 pounds in less than a year with PCOS, we were extremely focused on weight training with an extreme focus on progressive overload. Progressive overload, said simply, is increasing the intensity of your training over time. With Latifah, if we started off with her doing 100 pounds with squats, our goal is for her to get to 120 pounds, then 130 pounds, then 140 pounds, and beyond. Because lifting weights does not cause you to gain weight. That is a myth. What it does is create insulin sensitive tissue because your lean muscle mass is able to absorb glucose out of your blood a lot easier than fat mass, and it's going to decrease the amount of insulin your body has to release. Well, when you have more lean muscle mass and your insulin levels come down, that means your fat storage comes down. That means your body wants to release the fat. That means your midsection comes down, right? Which means your risk for diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol come down simply by adding more lean muscle mass to your body. That is why your body composition is so important when you have PCOS. And it's not just for an aesthetics point of view, but it's for a metabolic point of view and a hormonal regulation point of view. And I'm going to break down later on this video the simple routine you can implement when you're at home or when you're on the road traveling. This is the same routine we use to help Latifah lose 100 pounds, the same routine we use to help Lauren lose 100 pounds. And if you want to see similar results, the routine I recommend you do. Now, on top of increasing lean muscle mass and improving insulin sensitivity, it's also going to help you to regulate your stress. Weight training has been shown to reduce stress, which is going to help bring down your cortisol levels, which is going to help to reduce the amount of fat your body wants to store in your midsection. Are you seeing how this one implementation of weight training into your daily routine is going to solve a lot of these hormonal regulation issues you're currently having? While when you go to the doctor, they're going to give you medication to manage your symptoms. And let me be very clear, the doctors are not wrong. You need those medications to keep you functioning, to keep you able to work and be there to provide for your family and be reliable, but they're not a solution. We have to understand the difference between solving a problem and just putting a band-aid on a problem. And while the medications are helping you move along now, then you're already active, you're already trying to eat better, you're already showing up for yourself. The problem is you don't have clarity. And like I always tell my clients, it doesn't matter how hard you're trying, if your effort is going into the wrong system, you're not going to get the outcome that you want. Here's a simple blueprint for when you're at home, and I'll give you a simple routine for when you're on the road. Because most of our clients are traveling, they're working, they're moving around, they're making decisions, they're in these different rooms. And that's a part of the reason why you're having a hard time staying consistent, because you are so reliable at work. You are so great for showing up. You are so great at solving problems. But I have to remind you, when you're on the airplane and they tell you if the airplane's going down, before you help anyone else and put their oxygen mask on, make sure you put on your own oxygen mask. And that's what I want you to do as a leader. As a leader, you have to take care of yourself first so you can take care of everyone else. The first thing I want you to do is mark out on your calendar, because I know you live by your calendar. When are you going to weight train each week? We need 3 days, 45 to 60 minutes of intentional strength training every single week, non-negotiable. It needs to happen. This is going to be the difference between you losing this weight and keeping it off for good, or you losing 10 or 20 pounds, crashing and burning and gaining it back again when your schedule is on fire and life gets out of control. Once we mark this out, I want to recommend, as a leader, when the day starts, the meeting starts, the calls start, the emails start, everything becomes chaotic. The time that you have peaceful in your day to isolate and prioritize you is first thing in the morning. As a leader, you have to front load your self-care time. And a part of self-care isn't just getting massages, isn't just getting your nails done, isn't just going shopping, isn't just getting in that extra sleep. But it's also doing the things you may not feel like doing to create the life you want to have. So we're going to weight train 3 times a week. I recommend Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Before you go into work, before you sign on to work, before you help anyone else, help yourself. Now, we follow a simple routine that's going to hit most of your muscle groups. And it's very simple. A lot of times I find the women I'm working with are doing multiple things. They have a personal trainer, they're going to Pilates, they're going to the dietitian, they're going to another nutritionist, they're going to a specialist. And more information only creates more uncertainty. When we're unclear about what we're supposed to do, we're just trying every little thing. We're not putting our full energy into anything. Our approach is simple because we know simple scales. And if you've had any success in your life, you understand that simplicity does scale. So we do one routine when we started with Latifa and Lauren, which literally helped them lose 100 pounds in less than a year with very, very, very minimal loose skin, help them improve their health markers and get off of medication. It's going to work for you too. I use the same exact routine with my sister, who is an attorney running her law firm, that helped her get under 300 pounds for the first time in 7 years, helped my grandmother, who's lost 50 pounds, regain her strength, mobility, wearing high heels at 78. And it's going to help you as well. So, number one, we're going to focus on compound lifts. We're going to start with a box squat, and we're going to superset that, which means pair it with incline bench press. We're going to do that for 3 sets. You're going to start off with 20 reps. Over time, as you get stronger, you'll be able to decrease the amount of reps you're doing. Remember, we're focused on getting strong, not skinny. The second thing I would have them do is hip thrust, and I'd have them do bent over rows. This is going to help you to preserve your curves, but also build that lean muscle mass. So we create that insulin sensitive tissue to decrease your insulin sensitivity, to decrease your insulin resistance, and so that you can bring down your cortisol levels, and so you can minimize loose skin, and so that you can fit into your clothes again. I know you want all of the things. You want to look good, you want to feel good, and you want your numbers when you go to the doctor to be amazing. The last thing we want to do is make sure we're doing Romanian deadlifts and we're doing shoulder press. With these 6 exercises, you can do them 3 times a week. You don't need to switch the routine. You can literally do this for the rest of your life, and it would change your life because it's going to give you the foundation to build a lot of lean muscle mass, keep your strength, keep your bones strong, and it's also going to be extremely efficient because we're pairing an upper body exercise and a lower body exercise. One is going to be able to recover while you do the other, and you're going to be able to get the most out of your time investment. And I want you to remember, to make this continue to work, to get the best results possible, you can't keep playing with the pink dumbbells. You can't keep playing it small and doing lightweight and thinking it's going to make you bulky. We have to chase getting stronger. We need to really focus on how can I get from 5 pounds to 10 pounds? How can I get them 10 pounds to 15 pounds, right? How can I get from 15 pounds to 20 pounds? That is one of the key elements that's going to create that lean muscle mass. It's going to help you to regulate your hormones. And it's going to be that shield around you gaining the weight back, because 95% of women, not just women with PCOS, but women that lose weight, gain it back within 5 years. What I'm teaching you to do is to become a part of the 5%. Now, if I had to tell you, there's one form of exercise you should focus on, and the choices were to do cardio, to do HIIT, to do resistance training, we're going to always choose resistance training, because while high intensity interval training is great to know you still have the ability to push yourself, to sprint, to jump, while walking is amazing for burning calories and utilizing glucose during the session, the only form of training that improves your body's regulation of hormones, improves your body's ability to absorb glucose and improve insulin sensitivity and decrease all your health markers, is going to be weight training. Weight training is the number one option. Now, you're going to get the best results when you combine them, and that's why we teach our clients 2 miles a day keeps the belly fat away. But if you had to pick one, you have to prioritize weight training. Now, I've got some very specific things I want to walk through today in our notes, so I want to make sure we don't miss anything. So the biggest thing I want you to know is strength training, when it comes to making this change, is the foundation. Now, there's other things you need to establish, but this is one of the most important things that's going to improve the quality of your life. Now, I want to talk more so about you now, and I want to talk about what's made you successful in business, in your career, why you're able to lead others, why you're able to make these advancements and be far above average, to have this great success career-wise, and why the same things that made you successful career-wise might be destroying your health journey. I'm a big believer of the things that make us great can also cause us to struggle in other areas of our life. And if we don't address these things, we'll continue to go in the same cycle over and over and over again. All right. So I have some things listed out here. High performing women tend to be perfectionists, highly responsible, achievement driven, and control oriented. These traits work well in business, they fail in biology. All right. Perfectionism keeps your nervous system in fight mode. Fight mode in PCOS causes high stress hormones, inflammation, fat storage, hormone disruption. Here's what you have to understand. Your journey with your health, it's not going to always be perfect. Everything's not going to always go according to plan, and you're not going to always feel extremely prepared mentally. You still have to show up and execute. Now, a great way to be prepared is to, one, manage your expectations. Sometimes things are going to pop up. And while you had a 90-minute workout plan or a 60-minute workout plan, but a meeting got moved up, or you have to travel and now you're out of town, that doesn't mean we go all or nothing. It means we adjust. In your mind, that might be a hard concept because you're a perfectionist and you believe there's a way you're supposed to do things and you want to do it the right way. But what happens is when we have that rigid thought process and life happens and things pop up, as they always do for you, that's why you've been in this cycle. Every time you try, something pops up that knocks you off track and you completely stop. Because in your mind, if I can't do it the right way, I might as well not do it at all. Let me wait until I have time to truly focus. Let me wait until I'm not traveling as much. Let me wait until work slows down. But the reality is it never slows down for good. There's always going to be another meeting. There's always going to be travel. There's always going to be another conference. There's always going to be another call. But the time is ticking. In that 90-minute workout could still be a 45-minute workout. And you could stay in rhythm and you could still get to your goal. But you're letting that 1 week of stress, that one travel a month, derail you from being consistent. Perfectionism has created a great career for you, but it's destroying your health. High pressure has created a great career for you, your ability to manage stress and make decisions, but it's killing your health. You have to find a flexible approach. You have to find different systems for different parts of your life. When I teach my clients, and we work with some high-level women running 8-figure businesses, executives, directors, people that are real leaders making decisions that impact hundreds of other people that have hundreds or even thousands of others relying on them. Fix this, right? And if you can fix this mental process of perfectionism and the desire for everything to be the same all the time, and the desire to do things so fast, because as you learn, success loves speed. And so when we push that in business and in the workplace, it's a good thing. We're trying to get things done quickly because that's how you get results. But you can't take the same approach with your health. You don't want to stop or quit or give up simply because you're not seeing results as fast as you want. You don't want to jump from one thing or one approach to the next approach, as I've seen a lot of very successful women do because they have the resources to do it. A lot of women I talk to before they join our program, they're doing 3 different things at the same time. But you can't solve this with just throwing more money at it. We have to solve it by having more clarity and having a clear system that not only fits you scientifically through a proper approach, but also fits you systematically through a lifestyle approach. What do you do when it's holiday season? What do you do when you're traveling for work? What do you do when you have back-to-back meetings all day and you were supposed to be able to make it to the gym, but you had to miss it because you had to continue to work? What do you do when you don't get Saturday and Sunday off, right? What does that look like for you? That is the most important thing we can figure out, because we know you're not lazy. You are not an excuse maker. You're already trying to work out. You're already trying to eat better. You're just not in the right system, right? And so you feel stuck right now. You try harder, you train more, you eat less, you increase stress, you store more fat, you feel frustrated, and you repeat the cycle. If that sounds like you, I want to help you break out of that cycle, right? And one of the most important things we can implement into your system, it's not more Pilates, it's not more walks on the treadmill, it's going to be strength training. Remember this last note, right? Perfectionism builds careers, but destroys PCOS. Now, when life gets chaotic, right? I walked you through a six workout routine you can go through. There's a simpler routine you can do when you're on the road, because it's not all or nothing. We always have to get something. One of the best things I learned, right, through my life, through my career, through running a business, is that leaders and winners, which I would say if you're a leader, you're a winner, you want to win, show up. It's not always pretty. It's not always your very best, but you're never going to be absent. You're going to always show up. Now, whether that looks like 10 minutes and it's ugly, or it's 90 minutes and it's pretty, you have to show up. So when you're traveling, while you might not have the time or the access to things to do your full workout, you still need to show up in some capacity. Here's a simple routine anybody can commit to. You're going to do 3 exercises, 3 rounds, 20 minutes. Squat, row, push up. You're going to do each one 15 to 20 reps. It'll take you maybe 20 minutes. Here, it's not about losing the most weight while you're traveling. It's not about burning the most amount of calories while you're traveling. It's about keeping yourself in a mental rhythm, because things that are in motion tend to stay in motion. But it is extremely hard for you to continue to stop and start and stop and start. So you want to keep yourself in a rhythm so that when you come back from your trip, you never really stop doing what you're supposed to do. You simply adjust it. And when you get home, it's simple to adjust back to your normal routine. Versus if you come to a full stop, right? Imagine coming to a full stop in your car versus letting your car run along a little bit slower. When you hit the gas, which one's going to get to 70 miles faster? If you had a complete stop, or if we're already rolling, but we just slowed down? The car that's already rolling. Because why? Because it's already in motion. It still has momentum. It just had to adjust for a moment. Now, the last thing I want to leave you with is weight training isn't just there to build muscle. It's there to help you regulate your hormonal imbalance. It's going to help improve your insulin sensitivity, lower your cortisol, help bring down your body fat, which opening you up to high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, which all lead to heart disease, which is the #1 killer of women in America. And if you want to change your life, you got to change your habits, you got to change your mindset. Perfectionism builds careers, but it destroys your PCOS health journey. My name's Jeremiah. I've been coaching professional and executive women that are at the highest levels in their career, but the lowest levels in their health. If you want to lose 40 to 100 pounds in the next year, sustainably, can keep it off for good without giving up your life, your energy, or your career, I want to help you. You can click the link below to schedule a call with me, or DM us the word private on Instagram to schedule a call with myself or someone from my team. Remember, you deserve to be healthy, happy, and have a great career. And stay consistent. Till next time, it's Coach Jeremiah.